So for me, the amount of time it passed between me hitting stop and start again, perhaps you load it into the next video right away, which is fine, but it might also be good for you to go ahead and practice the other exercises that you have going on right now. If not, you can go watch the video again later. All right, so min heap now, the top and the bottom switch. So the top becomes 11, the bottom becomes 1. Again, I want to highlight what's changing along here. All right, you can remove the bottom now, you can remove the bottom later, we just can't forget about it. But I do need to update my array. So 1 and 11. And so I'm gonna do it at the end because I like that structure. All right, so now way out of heap order here. 11 in the min heap is definitely greater than 2 and 3. But I need to choose which of my children is the lower of them. So 2 clearly is the smallest one there. So 2 is going to come up here, and 11 is going to come down here. And I'm going to highlight 11. And the thing I like about this is if I forget what numbers I was typing as I do one over the other, I can go look at them over here. Oh yeah, this was 2, and then this one was 11. So I have a double representation, and that allows me to just remember it. I don't have to, keep both numbers around because they already are around, but 2 and 11 there. All right, again, is 11, nope, 11 still greater than 4 and 5. 11 still bigger than children. So which one's the smaller one? Well, 4 is the smaller one. So 4 is going to come up here, and 11 is going to come down here. It's useful, not required, but it's useful to try and remember the math inside of here. So from where 11 was, the children are 2 times this. So 2 plus 1 is 4, and plus 2 is 5. So we compare 4 and 5, and we said 4 was it, so 4 becomes 11, and 11 becomes 4. We exchange those parent-child values. All right, so the 11 now, again, comparing to 8 and 9, which one's the lower one? Well, clearly, in this case, 8 is the lower one. So 8 is going to become 11, and we'll highlight that one. And 11 becomes 8, already highlighted, and then make the change here. 8 is bubbling up the tree. It's getting closer to being a higher priority there. And then 11 comes down here. And we're not done yet. We can take the 1, and what I want you to do is move it off to the side. You can delete that relationship and then wipe it out of your array. And so your end value is now going to be pointing to, the size is now going to be 10. The last value is going to be 9 inside of there. All right, so that is the first one. But now I've followed all the instructions up top. I highlighted any change in the node. I left the remove node over to the side, and I didn't forget to update my array. But when I'm finished, I want you to duplicate the slide and remove again. So the way you duplicate the slide is you right-click and you say duplicate, and it copies everything on that slide to a new one. And when I come down to that copy, you see now I have 2 examples here. Then I need to go back and remove the next node. So the first thing I want to do is I want to clear out my highlights, so that way I can see what changes in this one uniquely. I'm not going to clear the top one because I know I'm going to change that one. But I'm going to do that exact same process again. I'm going to do it really quick this time. So switch top and bottom. 2 comes down here, and 10 comes up here. And highlight this. And now I'm set up to go quickly, hopefully. 10 and 2. All right, so 10 comes here. And 4 comes here. So this becomes 10, this becomes 4. Now 10 comes down here. Highlight that. And 5 comes up here. And 2 is going away, so I don't have to worry about that one. So 2 should be over here. That's one good reason to get it out right away, delete it right away, because the algorithm needs to get it out of the way. It needs to move that up so that way I know where it's done. But conceptually, it's easier for me to work on that. But 2 should have been gone right away. But it's a good way to remind you of why that should happen. Because when I come down to this point, yeah, definitely 2 is I can't swap 2 because then I'm that's the one that's supposed to go away. So the 2 should have been taken out. The n should be reduced lower on, but how you do it here, it doesn't matter. All right, so there's the other example. So that's, you don't have to do it again and again. You're not in a recursive loop forever until it's all gone. You just do it one more time, and that's good enough. But then the next example, the next activity is to add it back again. So we're going to go duplicate the slide yet again, and then we're going to add that value back in. So we're going to duplicate it here, and then we're going to move that below the add assignment so we can make it really clear which one it is. And then we're going to add the 2 back in. So essentially the 2 comes back over here, and I can just copy and paste this line. That's just the easiest way to make this happen. As I come over to here, Control C copy, Control V paste, or you can use the menus or the right click or however you want to do that. I'm going to put that back in. And again, I'm going to put the 2 back in over here. All right, and so now what happens is we did just like the ad before. We got to sink or swim this bad boy. In this case, we're swimming. So the 2 comes here, the 10 comes back down here, and this one is a boring example. Yours will not be quite as boring, but it is a boring example because essentially it goes in this example. It essentially goes back to where it started. But the muscle memory of walking through this process is what's important, of making sure you understand how these things bubble up, what to look for, what you expect them to behave in. So that's why I want you to build this example as well. And ideally, I'm not going to make you do it. I mean, I could make you do a video or something like that, or a bunch of extra tedious editing. But I want you to, like I'm doing now, walk through the process. And notice I didn't have to undo any of my highlights because I knew they were all going to be like that. They're not guaranteed like that on your exercise. Your exercise, you probably should clear the highlights and make sure they look like it. When my grader comes along and grades it, or when I come along and grade this, whoever's grading it, what we're going to do is put my solution side by side with your example, and we're going to say, okay, yep, highlights look good. Quick scan of these values, put them side by side. Yep, they look good. We're going to move along. So if your highlights are wrong, we might not spend a whole bunch of time saying whether the numbers are right or wrong. It depends on how quickly our visual system works. The expectation is you're going to highlight this. Think of it this way. If your software is supposed to highlight this and you deliver software that doesn't highlight this, the tester is going to say reject, send it back, do it over again. Same thing's true here. I don't care if it's a simple dumb error. You are the computer right now. You have a requirement. That's what you're supposed to do. Make it happen. Highlight those appropriately. All right. So then again, you have removing from this min heap and removing this max heap, and you're going to do the same thing. You remove again, add back in on each of those. So that is the process by which you'll do these. And again, you'll turn in all the slides. There'll be many more slides here when you're done, including the example ones. So the example is going to just start where you saw us start today. I'm not going to show you all the answers to that because you can always go watch these videos and see the answers, see what's supposed to come up, but more importantly, see the whole process. So that is the main part of the work we're going to do with Heaps, and I hope that it really gives you a good feel for how they behave. Again, right now, I'm not planning on making you do coding. So the next couple videos here are of my friend James, and he does a really excellent job. He's written some great code that explains how to build these in Java in this case, because that's the class he teaches. And so if you really want to look at those, they're optional videos for now. Again, they might change, and I may or may not come back and edit the end of this video. So pay attention to the syllabus, pay attention to the course room and the assignments. But for now, as of 2020, they're optional, and you can go through and look at them if you wish. All right, have fun with Heaps, and ask me any questions if you have them.